Hey there, welcome back to Manitic String Works. So I'm back from holidays, and on the workbench we have this Squier Stratocaster, which I purchased while I was away in Halifax. Facebook Marketplace find. It's a 20th anniversary 2002 Squier. It's seen some wear, it's got a few funky things going on, but I really liked it. I liked the maple neck on it. I like the color of the body, you know, the black pickguard. Kind of growing accustomed to or liking this white volume knob. I might leave that actually. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to give it a good looking over. I did check the truss rod when I bought it. It's a little mangled up. I was able to get it to work, so I'll see about that. And these tuners here are a bit of an issue. But overall, I mean, for $150 Canadian, I think it's a good little project guitar. So let's have a closer look. So when I bought it, I didn't test it out to the electronics or anything. The owner told me it did make noise. So it is making noise. Not scratchy really, which is kind of nice. The pickup selector does work. I did look at that. Nothing loose in there. So that's a good sign to start with. Single ply pickguard, black, 3 single coils. I'm not assuming these are anything great, but hey. What I really liked was the neck. Now the neck is maple, as you can see, and it has the large headstock, which I like. I call that like a shark fin. But I like the large headstock. These tuners are a real mess, and I'll flip it over to show you. It's got a black plastic nut here, which is no great shakes. And these frets are really pretty low, but not too much wear, oddly enough. So I wonder if these have been dressed and just not played. And the action's a little higher right now than I would like it, but again, I haven't adjusted the truss rod at all for the neck relief. Let's flip this over. Okay, so 20th anniversary Squier by Fender. Freedom of expression, it says, since 1982. Trying to keep it out of the light. There we go. That's a cool little neck plate. Again, single ply plastic back plate here. And when I look in there, yeah, I think I see 3 springs. Yeah, just 3 springs. We'll have a look at that. But what I really like was the neck. It's super smooth and comfortable, and it might be hard to see on the camera, but there's definitely some flaming going on there, some flame maple, which I thought was pretty cool, you know, in an inexpensive Squier. So hopefully the truss rod works fine. Made in China, 2002. So here we go. We've got some tuners that are wonky, pretty much all of them, and we've got one mismatched one here. That's like a Goto or Grover tuner here. You know, generic of course, but that shouldn't be there. So I think I'm going to replace those right away. I think I have some, so that way I can string it up and test it out, make sure that it's working fine. And just want to hone in on this bridge now. I did make a little short video just showing you how it's set up now with this radius, I'll call it intonation. So I don't really think this is intonated, and it might have to do with the strings, which are totally shot. Someone was having a hard time trying to intonate this, but of course we should be, first string should be up here, second string should be below, third string below, and it steps back up again. That's normally how intonation will go. Every guitar is a little different, and it depends on the scale length from the nut to the 12th fret and then to the actual bridge. But I can't even test any of that really because these strings are so bad. So let me see, I'm going to root through my drawers and see my tool drawers, not my drawers, and see if I have any tuners that I can replace these things with. Okay, so looking through my parts, I do have a bag of Squier tuners. I've labeled the Squier tuners, and as long as all the parts are there. So just have to make sure that these are direct replacements for the tuners that are on there. They probably will be. Yeah, it's all about the pin placement and that on these. I'm kind of thinking these might work. So let me try one. So the one here, so the first string was totally wonky, and this one's not right at all. So I'm going to take, ooh, look at that. I'm going to take this one off to start. How about we just cut that away? Get rid of that. And I can use my 3D printed 10mm thumb socket. Let me know if you think I should print these up and maybe make them available. It's a lot of work. Alright. Is that thing even turning? I don't even think it's turning in there. Wow. Okay. Try that again. I thought it was turning. Maybe that's why it's all wobbly, it's stripped out. I might need something a little more forceful, so I'll use the Stumac thin wrench, which I really love. Is that going to help? Moving, but I don't feel like it's loosening, you know? It's turning, but it's not going anywhere. Huh. Okay, I might have to get out the heavy guns. Okay, well here's a 10mm, steel socket. And that's just spinning around in space too. So I'm going to pull down on the tuner. Hopefully that helps to sort of engage the thread a bit. Alright, so before I get really frustrated and start screaming, let me take off the 6th string here. And maybe better luck with that one. Now that one has a screw on the back. Okay, that one's doing what it's supposed to be doing. There we go. Let's flip that over and get the screw out. Now this should have holes already. Ah, look at that. Single hole. Okay, well I'm going to have to take out a couple more because that's kind of interesting. What do we got going on? There's gunk everywhere. Oof, gross. So a single hole right there. I guess that's a pretty old style. Well, I think it finally caught the thread. There we go. They got it. Well, look at that. You know your tuner's pooched when... Yeah, I can put that over here. Let's see what we got on the back. Well, well, well. Single hole. Okay. So that means these tuners won't just drop in like that. Okay, well I promised this wasn't supposed to be an infomercial for these 3D tuning installation jigs I had made and shown in a previous video, but I'm just checking these Squier tuners I've got, and they do fit in the jig. hole's a little tight, but what's more important is the alignment of the pins, right? So if I push that in, I got it better from this side. There we go. And you can see that they line up with the pins exactly. So this jig will work. Of course, I have to take all these out, and I'll use the one that has the little nubbins in there. I can put that in, and there we go. Now, as long as the spacing is the same, well, of course it's not. Alright, plan B. I'd also printed these single pin locators, so you can put these in. Well, I can put 2 in, and then I can square them up to each other, mark the holes, and away you go, right? So, okay, that's probably what I'm going to have to do. I wasn't expecting to do that in this video. Well, I'm going to take all these off. It's crazy dirty. I'm really going to have to clean that. I don't really want to put my hands in there. So I'm curious about the spacing of the holes. So again, different Squiers, different fenders, different times, different eras, that kind of thing. You get lots of things going on that aren't quite standard and have changed over time. So 20 years ago, I'm kind of suspecting this is actually a 24.6, I believe, millimeter spacing, which is a standard fender spacing. It seems, but again, I can't say that for sure forever. It could have been different at different points. But what I've seen, and if I get all of these off, I can check the 24.6 jig that I made and see if that fits. Now the one I made has the fender pins, which are different from these pins on these Squiers. The Squier tuning machines I have, they're more of what I call the import size, so it's a little different. I knew this was dirty, this guitar. I didn't realize it was that dirty. Okay. So I'll loosen these off. Yeah, so these come off nice. Whoa! These come off really nicely. It's just the one there, first string one. Oh, these are terrible. Yeah, it looked like I had a couple that were, this one, a little wonky. Not too bad. And I'll keep these for parts, little tuning keys at the top, if there's any washer that's still in good shape. They're not really usable. These are, of course, they're reusable, the washers and the nuts. Well, let me give that a clean before doing anything else, though. Do the back side too. The old finger, run your finger over it if it sticks. Gotta keep wiping it. Probably venture to say that's the first time it's been cleaned since it was purchased. There's some greasy gunk there. I felt like someone tried to glue that tuner in place. Like I said, this neck is really nice, the maple, so cleaning it up just makes it look even better. Oops. Alright, so I've got the two locating jigs here, and just making sure the pins face forward. So when you put your tuning machine in, the pins are at the front here like that. Don't put the holes back there. And it looks like these two holes are going to straddle the hole that's in the middle there, that single hole, so it shouldn't be an issue. So I'm going to put them at the far end. I'm going to take another jig I've got there, use it as a straight edge, and just a small clamp. I just want to clamp this so it doesn't move. Okay. And that way I can just get the two jigs located there. Now, I should be able to use, is this drill bit too big? I'm just going to change, so this is just like a jeweler's drill bit. Just going to get in there with something a little smaller, just to mark the holes. That go in there? Nope. That one does. Nice. Very little play. So that's what I want. I'm just going to put that back in. I guess just to show you, you don't always need to use power drills, power tools. So I'm just going to spin that around a couple of times. I'm holding everything in place. To up here. That should have left me a couple of marks. Oh yeah. If I take an awl, a little marking awl, I can go and actually use a bigger one. Just a little bigger tip. And I'll just go in and I'll mark, push that in a little better. Now, I can use this, I can use a drill now, or I can use this drill bit. I kind of like it, just using this without a power tool, you know. Is it old school? Remember, you're just putting a little locating hole in there. You don't have to go too deep. And it's pretty hard to go too deep when you're doing this by hand like this. Now I didn't check that drill bit if it's wide enough diameter. It should be. Yeah, it just needs a little deeper. Okay. These little pins are actually pretty long. Probably about 3 millimeters. So I'm gonna keep going down here. Am I going to go through the headstock? No. Okay, once I'm pretty close, I do like to remount, put a little chamfer in the hole. I find it just helps locate things. There we go. Okay, and then I just have to tighten that down, and we'll do the rest. So once you have these two on, I can put those locators back in, use that straight edge, and then make the marks. And I'll do the last two after. Okay, there they are, all lined up in the back. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to tighten these up. And don't go crazy with these, just good and snug. And it's definitely something you should check every string change, especially with the change of seasons. As things dry out in the winter, things loosen up. Alright, okay, that's a lot better. Now, I like to, that's not going to work. I like to tighten up just the little tuning keys a little bit. Again, tighten the screws. Don't tighten them so much that you can't turn the tuning key anymore. A little tighten. They don't feel loose. You want to feel like it's spinning around nice. Oh, I've already noticed something right there. Can you see it? That little plastic or nylon washer is split. I'm gonna have to reach into my little bag of goodies or see if there's one on these older ones. It's still in good shape. Okay, well, I'm just gonna take this off. I see some that look salvageable. Now there's a little black washer there too. It's almost like a lock washer. Don't lose that. I can put that there. So there's our little nylon washer. And I'm going to look through this little collection of used ones here. And they're not all the same size, so you got to watch that a bit. So I'm going to take one off, this one. See if it's the same size. Oh, it's looking good. Has the same little black washer. Give it a little clean. So the washer goes on first, the nylon washer. Yeah, that fits. Okay, that goes on first. Then our little lock washer. And put on the tuning key. There's a little sort of indent. Make sure you get that. It's a little different thickness, but it's not going to change anything. There we go. Nice. Okay. This old tuner helped out a bit. Well, I wasn't expecting this video to be about changing the tuning machines. But that's sort of what it's turned out to be. So I hope you're not disappointed. The real scary issue is going to be in here, in this truss rod. I don't have high hopes in that black hole. If there's anything good lurking there, so stay tuned for the next video. We'll see what we can find in that truss rod hole.